legalizing and sanitizing it to make it legal. So the question still remains, who is Auxilia coming to represent? Because she doesn't represent the women of Zimbabwe. She's representing the dynasty, the friends, the family of ED is what she represents. She has never done anything for the common people. All she does is play pada. All she does is go and do kudzuramu kitchen, teaching people how to, she has not done anything that is meaningful. But now here she is. They are respecting her, they sanitizing her position as the first lady. For Zimbabweans, Auxilia is not yet the first lady until such a time that the husband is elected by the people, not just putting himself up, and commanding authority over the people. No, he's self-imposed. That's what we know. So we still have these questions, and surely I think it is time for all Zimbabweans in the diaspora to at least find time to come out, demonstrate, come out, speak out. We know people in Zimbabwe, they can't go out and speak against the first family. You remember the last time Namatai Kwekweze and team were locked up because they were suspected to be organizing some demonstrations against the SADC team that was coming to Zimbabwe. And now we are saying, as Zimbabweans here in the diaspora, we are free to go out and speak and express our feelings and ourselves as a community, to speak out and say, no, these people are self imposed. They were never elected. They just imposing themselves on people. So we're encouraging everyone that is able to come out on the 17th, on Tuesday. Let's go out there for once. Because I think when we went to Scotland, when ED came, we had hoped that buses and buses were coming from all directions to come and demonstrate. But no, people are busy with their shifts and like life goes on. Everything is normal. No, it's not normal. This woman has been with Mnangagwa for more than 45 years. That Mnangagwa has been in ZANU-PF that we know of. She has been with Mnangagwa for all those 8 years that Mnangagwa has been a self-imposed president. She has been with Mnangagwa in ZANU-PF for all those 45 years. What has she done for the people of Zimbabwe? We haven't heard anyone speak about women empowerment. What has changed? Because there's suddenly a trip to the UK where she can come and do shopping. She's now coming to represent women empowerment and all sorts of things. We need to speak out. Zimbabweans, if there's anything that we are really lacking, is coming out, speaking out. Every time we are just a handful. If we are 30, we say, wow, why are we not concerned about our lives? This is our lives that is being taken away, our lives that is being eroded by these people. Let's speak out. Let's have them account for all these things that they are doing. For me, I think Auxilia has never stood for the women. There have been women that have small children, 15 years old, that have been married to old men, that at some point in Marange, this girl died during childbirth because she was young. She couldn't give birth. But I never heard Auxilia speak out. I've never heard Auxilia representing anyone except supporting her husband in these illegal deals, making money, being the chief Gananda. She is after money. She wants everywhere there's money. That's where her nose is. I've not heard her speak about the rights of women or trying to support women. Her call first lady there, the former first lady for Chiwenga Mary, is dying, is having limbs to take cut off every now and then, but she has never stood out and spoke as a woman, as a responsible woman, a caring woman. So I don't know why she's coming to the United Kingdom, who she's representing in the Flair Summit. I'm not sure. I am still waiting for answers. Maybe at the end of this space, I might have some answers from some of you. If you know who she's representing and what she has ever done for women in Zimbabwe. For me, she's a no-go area. She shouldn't have even been chosen to come because she has done nothing. And for the 45 years she has been in ZANU-PF, she has not even opened her mouth to support other women. So I don't know why it's starting now because she's coming to the UK. Then she will start being a responsible woman. No, that can't be. Let's speak out. Let's come out on Tuesday and be heard. We need the British government to hear us because this is not normal. Thank you for now. I think I'll give others time to speak, and we'll also keep on talking when there's room to do so.
Thank you so much.
But for me, yeah, thank you.
So there's quite a few people. I think Tatenda is going to be the second one. I think with Auxillia, she also has the Angel of Hope Foundation. And when I read up on it, because sometimes you need facts, she doesn't leave it. So she doesn't leave the human rights that she talks about. She doesn't help every Zimbabwean. She helps ZANU-PF members. And then what we ought to be aware of with this Flair Summit, it's actually a very low level organization. It is not something huge, but Auxillia is using it to build her platform, her profile, just in case her and her family need to escape somewhere for safety. So this is someone that was talking to me about it last week. And so there are many reasons why she's probably doing this. And there's also the shopping element. She will come with how she travels with 10, 20, 30 people, and they will probably be earning $1,000 a day times however many people that she comes with. Whilst in Zimbabwe, there's no employment, the hospitals don't function, there's so many children dropping out of school, girls falling pregnant at 12, 11, 13. The list goes on, but I'll also keep quiet and ask Tatenda to be the next person to speak. After Tatenda, it's Milton. Milton is Guja, and then it's Barbara. So maybe if we can speak less, so we give everyone a chance, and we will circle back to everybody. So we will come back to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, host. Thank you, everyone, for attending this. Part of the organizers to mobilize and to push for this space to take place. This is not for our personal glory, but for Zimbabwe. It's said when UK, because they've seen how China, Russia, and Belarus are benefiting from weak systems in Zimbabwe, because our minerals and land is just being given to anyone that can just give Mnangagwa some few millions for his family without consideration about Zimbabweans. Those who have been following events in Bikita, where lithium is mined. I recently wrote a post when I addressed the Bikita mines to say, how do you celebrate that you are drilling boreholes in the 21st century? Lithium is being looted from Zimbabwe. What Chinese can do is to drill boreholes. But I grew up in Kadoma, a city called the City of Gold. Kadoma is surrounded by more than 7 mines. Those mines, they were existing before I was born. But one thing I can tell you, as much as the Anglo-American mines were looting, taking gold and everything from Kadoma, one thing they did, they would develop where they were mining. Those who can go to F4 flats in Kadoma who are in Zimbabwe, they will tell you, Kadoma, the mines, their houses, there is running water, which was not built by ZANU-PF, but the mining companies. The same as if you go to Zimplets in Ngezi, Mondoro Ngezi. Mondoro Ngezi has been converted into a town because the mining company is giving back. But we have Mnangagwa, who is a loose hand that empowers foreigners more than the locals by giving foreign companies easy access to our minerals, easy access to our land. As we are talking, we have a UZ strike that has been going on for a long time. It's now 2 flat months plus some days, plus a week. There is a strike that Mnangagwa, who is the chancellor of that institution, because he's the chancellor of all state universities, he has not addressed that. But he's doing empowerment programs. Those empowerment programs, he's providing houses and cars for ZANU-PF few, not even those that went to war to fight for Zimbabwe, who the so-called war veterans are not the actual war veterans who went to war for Zimbabwe. And we just watch in wow. We have got hospitals that doesn't have medication. It's a well-known thing that Zimbabwean hospitals, they are not facilitated with modern technology, medication, and the skill set. We do have the people, but they don't have machines or equipment to use because ZANU-PF have neglected to take care of our public service. If there's one thing that ZANU-PF and its Zviganandas and Atagwirei Chivayo, even Auxillia herself, what they don't bother or care about is the public service in Zimbabwe, which is the paramount responsibility of a government to have a smooth, viable public service that provide quality service to its citizens. We have got land, we pay tax. Zimbabwe has got more taxes than UK and other first world countries. All that money, it goes to Mnangagwa and his family. Sadly, some of us, we have come closer to we come from areas where these guys, they do their operations. And I'll continue to reference Kadoma because my city, where I come from, it's one of where the Mnangagwa family and Scott Saku Panya and others, they thrive in terms of gold with the help of Zvidzai, who is now a member of Central Committee in ZANU-PF. Auxillia Mnangagwa has got a mine, F4 flats, which used to be owned by the Anglo-Americans. She's in partnership with Indians there, using people for cheap labor, and sometimes they don't get paid. I have friends who are there who always say, because you're outside, you can speak for us. Your house from the mine is less than 5 kilometers from where the mining activities. Those that are interested to research, they can research about that. We can talk and talk a lot, but it's sad because I was part of the delegation that met Pet Vows on 20 March, and the head of the SADC delegation at the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, and we deliberated. But Pet didn't assure us a lot because, as someone who grew up in Zimbabwe, as people that have got land there, the British people are now looking at regaining what they lost during Mugabe's time without looking at the welfare of Zimbabweans. They are not bothered that Zimbabweans are orphans all over the world. No reforms have been made since Mnangagwa came. There is more taking from the people more than giving to the people. Right now, he owns all land. I just posted in our comment, in the comment of this X, or of this space, about how Mnangagwa, you have instructed ministers to take land that has been owned by farmers in Springs, which is the Gormon's area, 5 kilometers away from Harare. Some of the farmers are young people who have even been awarded for performing and producing year in, year out. But Mnangagwa is giving that land to Billy Rautenberg, his long-term ally, to build houses. While recently they said Zimbabwe's economy is centered on agriculture. How do you say you are empowering people when you're taking from people who were given land for years? Now you want to give a friend to do a housing project to convert farming land. So there is a lot that we need to do. It's said party that most Zimbabweans who are here, when they get the 12, 13 pounds from the shifts, they think that they've made it. There is nothing greater than being home. Some of us, sadly, we have not lived home. It's almost 15 years now since I left Zimbabwe in 2010, 2012, going to South Africa. From there, I had to come here because I cannot go home. And sadly, I lost a father who was murdered by ZANU-PF people. So my hate for ZANU-PF and hate for people who continue to oppress people, who continue, and I'll continue to fight and be the voice for the voiceless and those that believe that Zimbabwe one day will be better for us all. Thank you for now, Chair.
Thank you so much for that. And, if we look, you talk about the fact that we are here, maybe it's not like our permanent home, and unless you've naturalized, or even if you've become a citizen, we have all seen the global politics and how they are playing out. Every European country is becoming far right. They're far right, anti-immigration, anti-migrants. The laws are changing, even here within the UK, immigration laws are changing. The right to leave and, how you then go on to apply. Everything is changing around the world. We don't know what the future holds. And so we need to think about our own country and what we can do.
But the sad part, host, is that our people are so relaxed. You know why Zimbabwe, we are suffering for 45 years under the leadership of ZANU-PF? Zimbabweans will always have plan B, plan C, plan D. Instead of fighting, myself, I was part of student politics and student leadership in South Africa, where when South Africans tell you that this is nonsense, if you could research on the fees must fall that happened in 2015, some of us were championing that because I was in student politics and leading. And when South Africans tell you that this is nonsense, they go against whoever is trying to oppress them or to take advantage of them. But for Zimbabweans, it's all about, if I can have a plan B for my family, for my mother,
Yeah.
it's okay. So it's said we're a country that has got no united goals to say we need to have reforms and be a democratic country whereby members of ZANU-PF
Sorry,
and
Tatenda,
opposition, they can mingle
yeah,
and
Tatenda,
talk.
can I just stop you so that we go to other speakers and we'll come back to you?
Okay,
It cannot be
all right,
fair
thank
to
you.
say that Zimbabweans don't want to do anything. People are afraid. People die in Zimbabwe just for speaking out. So let's bear that in mind. Some of us are in the diaspora and we are very safe. But for those in the country, it's very sad. Nobody speaks out against anything. So if we can go to Milton, Guja, and then Barbara. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Can you hear me? Hello?
Speak up.
Hello?
We can hear you, Milton. Please go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, I'm traveling, so just in case my my voice might be
You
a
don't
bit.
need to speak up though, because we can't hear you. I'm on loudspeaker and I can't hear you.
Sorry, I'll just turn my thing on. Hello, sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, Chair, can you hear me now?
Yes, Milton, we can hear you.
Thank you very much for bringing me on. Um, thank you very much for bringing me on. So basically, like in terms of the Auxillia Mnangagwa being invited to come to attend the Flay Summit, in my view, she's not coming here for the empowerment of women's rights in Zimbabwe. This is a PR stunt by ZANU-PF to try and sanitize their public relations with the international counterparts in the UK. And this is so wrong for Flay Summit to have Auxillia Mnangagwa as part of the speakers, because you would have thought that they would have heavily vetted the speakers that would be speaking at the summit to make sure that they are people of good standing, good standing, and but obviously this has not been the case. So, in my view today, I'm speaking out today not just as a Zimbabwean in the diaspora, but as someone who believes.
I think Milton might be having challenges. So shall we come to you, Guja? Thank you. Hi, is Guja here?
I'm here.
Yeah, please go ahead. I think we've lost Milton.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. It comes from when you're growing up. The whole world is built by a mother. We all came from a mother. If you're not a good mother, the whole family will never be a good family. You can't let your husband do things which are very wrong. I'm 37, turning 38. I speak to Ndebele people who feel so bad up to now. Some who I didn't even see Gukura Wundi. But when I was shown what happened with the ED, he killed Ndebele people. You kill your own people, thousands, and your wife is supporting you. You cannot be a mother who is not building a nation, and you bring up Kuti, Ndine, Ndruku, charity. That's just a facade. 8 million ushitamba nodo with 8 million when the hospital is struggling there, and you let your husband that mat to kuisa pamotkari, that mat, it costs a lot of money, and you let your husband do that. A failure of a man inoonekwa ni mkazi wacho kana usinga control murume wako, then you are a failure. And I will talk about Tatenda Mbotaura about all these girls, they are abused. Anyone who says anything wrong to them, which is not wrong. This is wrong. If it's wrong, it's wrong. No one wants to be in this country. We're all educated. We've got lawyers and very professionals in South Africa. We've got plenty of guys there in South Africa, big bankers. Why are you here? In South Africa, they're killing Zimbabweans. We look like we are one wasingazivi kwari kuenda. because we fear. At times, we're already dead. So there's nothing to fear. We just have to pinpoint, my guy, yo, evap. We just need a few people. Look at Julius Malema. Anototaura kuti izvi hazviiti. The people like that, we need to build the confidence that we have, tikabumbana, tikabatana. Yes, I understand kuti vanhu vanotya, but after all, it can be good for me. But how about my mother, my sister, it comes back to us. So if we don't do anything about it, then we just tiringotenderera pabhora risina kwatiri kusvika. I don't understand why they allowing her to come here, which is very bad. We've been petitioning for this. We've got a lot of people vane mabrains, vamwe vacho vanotya kutaura. Yes, I understand some people are afraid, but I'm not even afraid. If someone gives me a gun, I'll go and shoot that guy. We need to have people who have confidence that vanotaura kuti no, this is nonsense. You imimi mbuya endai munotaura nemurume wenyu. If you need to retire, run away from the country. If you know the story yeku Romania, what happened in Romania way back, Shevchenko was doing the same thing. It's more like history repeat yega. But she ended up walking in the street and the whole country said, good, anompa lift, anomtengesera kana anything shop market, we're going to kill you. She died a beggar. And this woman has to do the same thing. The husband is a cruel guy. He was hiding behind Mugabe. Mugabe, he was stupid to do Yashita or Raita. They're all in the same bandwidth. So how can we allow people to keep on doing the same thing over and over? Some of us were not even 40 years old. Mwana wangu anokura achionei. This is our life. We're looking for a better future. Nyika dzinozoita civil war, it becomes from this. Whichever political parties akasiyana-siyana, we just have to come together and say, no, this is nonsense. We don't want this anymore. Kana mukadzi yeye ane pfungwa dzinoshanda, anofana kuudza murume wake kuti izvi hazviiti baba. Hit the road. After all, his time iri padhuze izvozvo, so he will not last for the next 2 years. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much for that. We have real issues about our beloved Zimbabwe, but I'm just going to ask Barbara to come on now.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Pete, for allowing me to speak. I won't take much of your time. I just wanted to touch on the issue that.
Sorry, host, she's far away.
Can you hear me?
I think you need to.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Pete, for this opportunity. And this is a very wonderful space where we are discussing about the issue of Auxillia Mnangagwa coming to the UK. Is it tomorrow and the 18th? Is it? Yeah. I'm also one of the people that are perplexed why Auxilia must be um, regarded as one of Africa's most influential women, and that she's championing sustainable futures. Which futures is she sustaining? Which is she championing? Which sustainable futures is she sustaining when we have our children, the youths in Zimbabwe, that have their future, the future that has been destroyed by my drugs? We know what's happening to our children in Zimbabwe. And we know who the drug lords are. ZANU PF people that are these drug lords. And we know the reason why they are doing this to the youth, so that they can stay, drunk and keep quiet. Because we know that in every struggle, it is the youth that emancipate people. The youth, because they are young and energetic, ndivo vanokwanisa kusunungura nyika. Tikada kutarisa history yenyika dzakawanda, it is the youth. Tikada kutarisa vana Mnangagwa wachona vari kuti vakasunungura Zimbabwe nana Chiwengo, pavakasunungura Zimbabwe vanga vari mayouth. But tingori now nanhasi, they are still there. They were there when they were youth, and they're still there. So it's very how long? So it's very, very disturbing that they are still sorry guys, sorry. So the youths are not being effective because of Mwanda mitoriro yavari kutora, yavari kutengeserwa tumbwa tavari kuswera vachimwa, and kuna mabasa, they are not being productive, and yet Auxilia is championed as one of the most influential women in Africa. And her husband, Emerson Mnangagwa, very busy. They are looting the minerals of Zimbabwe. And people are suffering. The hospitals have got no drugs. Children are dropping out of school. Parents can no longer afford to take their children to school. And yet she is the mother of the nation. She's quiet. She's quiet. She's content. She doesn't even give a damn. She doesn't care. And yet they are inviting her. What for? What sustainable features is he championing when the husband is busy killing the country? It's so sad. I have a solution, guys. Let's follow the organizers of this summit. Let's follow them, and let's write whatever we want to write on X. They've got an X account, a Facebook account. I've just did my research, and I've started writing something on their X. Let's even the MPs, I'm told that the Labour MPs, some of the Labour MPs will be there. Let's go there. Let's go to even the Prime Minister's account. Let's, social media is very powerful. Very, very, very powerful. Because within a short space of time, you would have reached hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people. Yeah. I've read a comment where someone was saying these demos are not effective, blah, blah, blah. And you hear such comments, people criticizing people that are making an effort to change things in Zimbabwe. There are so many ways of killing a cat, So let's do the social media campaign, protest, and you will see she will not come. She will not come. If we intensify this social media campaign, believe you me, Auxilia will not address, or she will not even come. Even if maybe she's already in the country, because the summit, I understand, is it tomorrow? Is it 17 and 18? So I'm so angry, and so disturbed by even the organizers and even the UK government on its own. They should bar these people from coming. Why would they want to enjoy other people's democracies when they are coming from the country where their husbands are dictators? It's so sad. Thanks, Pet.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, sometimes with these things, it's money. I think it was you, Babsi, that mentioned, I don't know, or somebody mentioned that the patron would have paid. So we wouldn't be surprised if Mrs. Auxillia Mnangagwa maybe paid 20,000, 30,000 pounds to come. But we are going to dig. The group of UK diaspora activists are an amazing bunch of people, and they've been doing quite a lot of work. And they're all here. So we've got John on Zro, we've got Panika Shami. So you can follow them. I think when you speak, maybe say I'm one of the organizers, if you're comfortable doing it, and then people can follow you. But it's not stopping now. We are going after the organizers of the Flare Summit in the UK. One of them is called Dr. Yvonne Thompson, CBE, and she's linked to a lot of organizations. And also she's a patron of many things. And one of the ways we've been trying to attack her is to go to those organizations and to tell them that, do you know that this person who sits on your board, this is what they are doing. It takes time. This kind of fight for change takes a long time. So if it doesn't happen within 3 months, it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen within a year. So thank you so much for that. So our next speaker is Panika, and then Reynard, and then after that, Mdara. Thank you. I don't know if Panika is here. If you can hear me, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Patricia, for giving me the opportunity to speak. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are. Very loud and clear.
Thank you for giving me the floor. I'm one of the organizers. I'm part of the committee that is organizing this demonstration, working with Patricia and other people from Zoro, John Beck, for example, and we also have people from ZAPU, CCC, etc., etc. What I was going to say, sorry, I came in late by 10 minutes, so I'm not sure what had been covered. But listening to speakers, something stood out, which I think I need to address. This is to do with people not turning up for demonstrations here in the UK, and also people seemingly not taking action in Zimbabwe. I'll start with the Zimbabwe scenario first. I think we need to appreciate that the democratic space in Zimbabwe is literally closed. We know what has happened since Mnangagwa came into power. You will remember the shooting when demonstrators were shot dead in broad daylight in 2018 and probably 2019. I'm no longer sure of the specific date, but that on its own means a person in Zimbabwe fears going onto the streets because the consequences are dire. They'll be shot. Then we also know that people who have been outspoken have been detained for a long time without facing trial and only to be released later. We have the latest case was of Blessed Musanga. We also had Rockwell Chingono, Namatai Kwekweza, etc. So many of them. So what they do is they will detain somebody, and that person's life from that point onwards is on hold. Unfortunately, they will be on their own. Remember, these people would need to be fending for their families. But they are detained, the bail conditions that they are eventually given are so onerous. They simply have no life. They have to be reporting to the police very regularly. Their travel documents are taken. They are probably no longer attractive to potential employers because of their history. So we need to empathize with the people in Zimbabwe. And that brings me to the point that we in the diaspora, we need to realize that it's now, the onus is now on us to take up the fight, because those on the ground in Zimbabwe are handicapped. So we need to take the responsibility as the diaspora to be taking the lead in this fight, which I'm glad we are doing, for example, by organizing this space and by organizing the demonstration against Auxillia Mnangagwa. Then talking about the people in the UK not participating, some of the reasons are financial. Life in this country is very, very difficult. You find that if somebody doesn't go for a shift, it might mean they are not able to pay their bills. So we need to consider that. Yes, there are many who, once they attain maybe their status, they feel they have reached their destination. They no longer care about what's going back, what's taking place in Zimbabwe. But I want to believe that there is a sizable number that do not participate because of genuine reasons, and one of the main reasons is financial. So I think as leadership, it's something that we will be discussing. There must be ways. I'm going to be making proposals to the other leaders, so that probably we find ways of probably mobilizing funds. I think if we pay attention to that, we should be able, it's something that is doable. We have seen other organizations from other nations, other diaspora communities mobilizing funds, and when they go for demonstrations, they go in their hundreds or potentially thousands. And that is because they've got funding for that. I think it's something that we will be looking into. But like one of the speakers said, and like what Patricia said, it doesn't happen in a day. We need to appreciate that it is a process. We should count ourselves lucky that we have those few people that are still very committed. I think that on its own means we can still grow, and we will reach the numbers that we want to reach. I will now go into Auxillia Mnangagwa herself. Obviously, I believe most people on this platform are against her coming to the UK. I'm one of them. I'm very I get to the point of being angry actually when we have people masquerading as saviors of nations when they are the opposite, and that is Auxilia Mnangagwa is one such individual. I refer to her as the matriarch of corruption in Zimbabwe. She sits at the apex of an octopus of corruption. That first family is literally has its paws in every sector of the economy. There is no thriving business in Zimbabwe in any sector that does not pay some kind of teeth to the first family, whether directly or indirectly. They work through proxies like the weakness vials, and they run a system of tenderpreneurship whereby government tenders, they don't follow the tender procedure. They literally are handpicked. We have, for example, the drugs scandal in 2020 during the COVID time, where a 60 million contract was awarded to drugs, which was headed by Delish Nguaya. That's one good example. Right now, we have the Geo Pomona Waste Management contract, which is in Harare City Council. The first family is making millions a day from that contract. we obviously all know about gold mafia. Auxillia Mnangagwa was named in gold mafia, meaning she was involved, and she is still involved directly. We also have many other tenders going on in Zimbabwe where the first family is benefiting, and that is primarily why our economy has collapsed. Is because there is no accountability on the part of the leadership, especially the first family. They are literally pocketing what is supposed to be national resources. So as a country, we are suffering because there is no funds available for the public services somebody was talking about. The health sector is collapsed. The maternal mortality rate is said to be 960 per 100,000 live deaths. You can look at any sector and there's no life in any sector as we speak. Our country is on its knees. And then we have this Auxillia Mnangagwa coming here and pretending that she is the savior of our nation. I think we really need to go there and to tell it to her face that she is not wanted here. And when I was looking at the Flare Summit website, they are talking of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, 17 of them. They are talking of probably some of their speakers, if not all. They are being said to be champions for those SDGs. And when you look at what are they are, for example, they are saying no poverty. They are saying zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic development. They are talking of climate, and they're talking of peace, justice, and strong institutions. All of the things they are talking of in terms of SDGs in Zimbabwe, you can't really say there has been any progress. You can't pick any one of those goals and say there has been any progress. If anything, we are walking in the opposite direction versus those sustainable development goals. So on that account only, just on that account alone, Auxillia Mnangagwa cannot come to a platform that is talking about these SDGs and pretend to be a champion, especially when she is pretending to be representing a nation. Madam Chair, thank you very much for the opportunity, and I hope we are all going to meet on Tuesday, the 17th June. This coming Tuesday at the Leonardo Hotel, and we should be telling Auxilia to her face that we don't want her here, and we are not happy with what is happening in Zimbabwe and what she is causing in Zimbabwe. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much for that. And I think one of the things that I really resonated with me was when you talked about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. I also read those, and I thought to myself, as a long-term strategy, we probably need to focus on the UK co-organizers, because they do this event apparently every year. In August, that same event is going to Kenya, but in Kenya we can't do anything. And then next year is going to come back here. So if we can try and dismantle all of that, so that this probably is our last, if she is in the country already, that this is the last time that she can come to these events. So thank you so much for that. We're now going to move on to Reynard and then Bule. I think Udara is dropped off somehow.
Yeah. Thank you, Madam Chair.
I haven't dropped off. I'm around.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. All I wanted to ask is what happened to sanctions? I mean, which the British were actually applying in tandem with the Americans. That's something that we need to ask. And probably, I mean, for you guys in the UK, some of you are powerful enough there, even to throw this one in the British Parliament. Because, I mean, if Blessed could be discussed in the Parliament, why can't they discuss the first family and its evil nature, from drugs to corruption to people who are being massacred in Zimbabwe? Because, I mean, we have reached a critical point here. Because if you are listening to Tatenda is not the only one, the way that he's speaking. If you are listening also, there is Martin. If you listen to some of these people, and even the way that we interact, you find that we are in a nation which is traumatized because of the guns and the violence in our country. And we can't continue on that trajectory. And the people who are inflicting this trauma are actually in Zimbabwe. They are the first family. So we need now to come, I mean, to an awareness whereby we actually alert the world to say, listen, we can't continue suffering this trauma. If it means be discussed in the British Parliament or even at a Downing Street, the better. Because I know right now, even as I'm speaking right now, somebody will come here and start telling, I know she's a good person, they are doing this, they are doing that. Yeah, what can you do? But the reality is actually reflected by what is happening in our social structures, like the hospitals and even some other amenities. The social structures, if you see the legislations which are out of touch with our own African values. Even our own colonial laws, they are still prevailing up to now, and they are the ones which are actually making us actually be oppressed as much as we are. So more, I mean, we need also now to start introducing these things of actually bringing a healing to our people, especially even some who are in the diasporas, because right now we can't even, I'm not saying now, but I mean on other spaces, we fail actually to interact. That is something that has been caused since independence, because Mnangagwa has been the one, he tells you he's the one who championed all these things of the Secret Service, up to Gukura Hundi, up to wherever and up to wherever. We've got secret organizations like the British, maybe after this thing of the Dekel and the Americans and actually the decoupling of these people, they're taking a different stance now to Zimbabwe. I don't know whether it's because the world is now multipolar and including the gold system. I don't know. Maybe they want the resources there, and the gold and the first family actually trades in gold. They know that. So whatever type of democracy they are now calling it, dictatorship, whatever, I don't know. That system now, the British are now taking advantage of that system and actually trying now to make it, to ensure that, I mean, whatever system is prevailing there, it can stay because of the fragmentation of the world. We can't actually be held liable to that, and we can't actually be used by systems that we, it's time that we start decoupling. And it's time, I think, probably they in the UK start, because actually the future, they actually, with whatever is happening, it's not actually rosy. So it's either you fight from that platform, and no matter wherever we are in the diaspora, we have to fight in whatever platform, because whatever is happening to the world is actually a serious, what do they call it, seismic shift, Pastor Irenlo. You see? So I think that's what we need to do, Madam Chair. I think that is my contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that. And you've raised some really good questions. So the question of why Mnangagwa's government or administration is not mentioned in Parliament is because it's a sovereign country. And so there are certain things that they can't talk about. That's why they raise the issues of human rights abuses. So those are always raised in Parliament. So that's one. With the sanctions, and please others later on, please come in and make your comments, the organizers around the sanctions. We all know that these are targeted sanctions against individuals and their companies. So there's a whole big list there, not against the country. And so Zimbabweans are trading with the UK. There's so many things that are happening. I buy vegetables that have come from Zimbabwe here in the UK. And so maybe one day we can talk about sanctions on another space. But I'm going to bring up Mdara, because Mdara did come before Bule. He's been here a long time, or she has been for a long time. So Mdara, please, and then Bule. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, organizers, and thank you very much, Change Radio. It's a great opportunity being with people who have like minds. which is what Change Radio stands for. And I see Auxilia trying so much to get to the UK on a PR campaign. But that PR campaign is tantamount to nothing because she remains on the Magnitsky sanctions, an executive order. It's called EO 131818. And this is because of her association with her husband. They're married, isn't it? So you see, we want to look at these Magnitsky sanctions and what they say, and whether what they say allows them, these shameless people, to associate with people even. Zimbabwe sanctions were lifted. I mean, the country were lifted on in March 2024. Zidera then was adjusted to include only a few very bad individuals. I think Mr. Mnangagwa is the only sitting president who has been imposed or been slapped with such sanctions. And incidentally, his wife is also part. Some people will be jumping on to say, oh no, it's human rights, abuse of human rights. Unless we don't understand what human rights are, what is happening in Zimbabwe is distressing. It's something that would be done only in the Stone Age period. Another speaker was almost talking about what's going on with women, what's going on with girl child or the girl child in Zimbabwe. She talked about marriages or underage marriage and rape and other things that are going on without the government or Mnangagwa as the top government man saying anything. And we also can talk about the uh, theft of Zimbabwe land after a chaotic redistribution of land. Now, and these are the things that are listed in the sanctions that are imposed on Auxillia Mnangagwa. The first person on sanctions is what do you call his name? ED, Emerson Mnangagwa. The second person is Auxillia Mnangagwa. And yet Auxillia, with, if you look at the raft of reasons or the raft of the reasons for imposing those sanctions, everything bad that we have said or speakers have said here is mentioned in those sanctions. And yet we will allow ourselves as Zimbabweans, that person to represent us, because she goes there not in an individual capacity as Auxilia, but she's invited as Zimbabwe by whoever invited that. Shall we allow that? I remember back then, nothing of that nature would ever pass our eye. We could start our demonstrations first at the Strand and then go on to those people's houses, and then we would cut their hedge and tarmac their driveway, if you know that lingo. That's exactly what Mnangagwa and Mnangagwa's wife needs to be shown. We cannot sit back because the United States, in its impositions of the sanctions, it talks about corruption. It talks about illicit financial flows. It talks about plunder of resources. This is a foreign nation that is talking about what is going on in here. And also, some speakers mentioned names as they went deep into venting their angers on corruption and destruction of our economy by a clique or a few individuals. And of course, the abuse of human rights, which include the massacres that are well documented, that some speaker talked about when he talked about all those things are around the Mnangagwas, especially the mother or the wife and husband. And do those people then automatically qualify to represent us at international fora? Whatever is written on their website, Angel of Hope, in pursuant of United Nations or SDGs, as you may want to call them, it's rubbish. They wrote them. That is not approved by the world. So what we need to do, if you are in the UK, if you are an activist, if you can, if need be, let's help each other and stop this nonsense. It is nonsense in that she's representing herself. She wants to size her own self. She wants to clean her own image, but it's an image that is not cleanable. It is difficult to clean for as long as Mnangagwa is doing what, or the government is doing what it is. As long as there are abductions, as long as there's torture, as long as there's jailing or imprisonment of people, as long as there's judiciary capture, as long as there are cartels, if it was permissible and if there was time, we could have, or I could have stated a huge or a barrage of attack on the economy by these two and the elite. There are some things that are happening that most of you might not even know, even when you look at our GDP, if you look at our GDP, if you look at the contributions to our GDP by sector and percentage, you'd then realize that we need to uprise as Zimbabweans and save ourselves. Someone talked about Bikita minerals in Bikita. It's a shame. Someone would talk about Manise. It's a shame. They are allocating themselves a looting point. Lithium, I am just about to post something on this issue of lithium and resources, exploitation of resources and other. It's a shame. And there's no reason why Zimbabwe is in the state in which it is, and yet we would allow, and some people would come here and say Auxillia Mnangagwa is the right candidate to talk about Zimbabwe or represent Zimbabwe. We need to stop that because there are so many sensible or people with good sense out there that see why, that have reasons why we cannot allow these people to gallivant the world speaking about Zimbabwe as if they are super Zimbabweans. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your contributions. Really appreciate that, especially when you talk about the GDP. I mean, there's so much that people have said, but we need to move on to the next speaker, who's going to be Bule. And after Bule, Charles, Signoro, and Vengai. Thank you. I don't know if Bule is here. I've seen your hand, Shamiso, but we've got people that haven't spoken. So if you want to make a contribution, can I just give you 1 minute, please? Because we've got a list. So after you will be Charles, and then Signoro, and then Vengai. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Patricia. I think from what I've been hearing from the speakers, or most of the speakers, honestly, we can't be too soft on Auxilia. There's no reason why she should come here, and we have to go and demonstrate that on Tuesday. There's no excuse whatsoever because she's the evil behind everything. There's people always say behind every successful man there is a strong woman who is supportive there. So if she's supporting the husband to do whatever he's doing right now, honestly, for me, there's no room for us to be patient or to really listen to this Auxilia. She's the evil behind everything. She has never for once corrected the husband. She has never for once spoke about all these abuses, all these rapes, all these abductions. She's quiet. People are lavishing they're being taken and put in prison for no good reason. They spend years there for no good reason. She has never, as a woman, who spoke out to say no, or even spoken to the husband on their own in their own small bedroom there to say, please listen to this, because we have seen he has been like he doesn't even listen, like he has no feelings, no emotions. Why do you allow somebody to be in prison and judged for 2 years and you just keep quiet? as a woman, she must be feeling that in a womb that no, this woman, this person is somebody's wife's husband, somebody's son, somebody's brother. But she has been quiet. She has never said a word. So please, for this Auxillia, we really need to come out and speak in her face and tell her that she's not a loving, a caring woman. She's just as good as the husband, an idiot. Thank you. Sorry for the emotions, but I'm so hurt about. She's one woman that I don't respect.
Thank you
I'm
so
sorry
much.
about that.
Yeah,
Thank
you'll
you.
have a chance to speak later on. So please, can I ask Charles and then Signoro, then Guy, and then Tyrone. Tyrone, we have a list that we follow, so we will come to you. I won't be able to put you up to speak. I've seen your hand. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me, host?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay. I think this trip is one trip that none of us here really understand why the trip is happening in the first place. We have our suspicions, of course, but as activists, most of us in here are activists. As activists, we need to embrace the new climate for activists. Activism now has changed, I believe, because of the changes in politics and economics. We used to have, as activists, support of the government. For example, the United Kingdom government, we used to have full support as activists. Zimbabwe, as a country, dictator or not, has to offer them. They want that as well. So we need to realize that we do not have 100% support from the government here. In the past, all these things we are doing now would get lots of publicity. Sometimes in parliament, we would get lots of publicity, but things have changed and they have moved on. I really like what Tatenda, the previous speaker, Tatenda Changambika, said earlier on. He said that the UK is more interested in regaining resources that were lost during the Mugabe time. They're trying to make ground because there's that threat from China, from Russia, from all the countries we know are rising now. So I really think for us to make as much noise as we can is even more important now than it was, because we're only relying on our noise at the minute. That's why it's important for us to go to attend this demonstration in as large numbers as we can. Also, Mdaraji mentioned that if we look at Zimbabwe, the general contribution of specific sectors to the GDP will point you towards where, as a country, we are losing money, where the corruption is. If we really break it down to specific sectors, we will know where we are losing money. We already know, but it will be there for us to see clearly. So I think on Tuesday and Wednesday, when we do these demonstrations, we need to bring out our all these points, articulate them. If there is media, I'm hoping there will be powerful enough media for us to be able to put these things across. Maybe we'll get a little bit of support in the higher offices. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. So we've had, with regard to media, we've had some interest in media. I think one of the media companies that I'm really finding to be very friendly and helpful is South African media. So, they've been reaching out to us and they wanted to know more. They're interviewing two of the organizers tomorrow morning. So we've really been it's been good. With the British media, it's hard work to get their interest. But what we are glad about is that we've got interest from some lords. So Lord Johnny Oates, we've got some interest from there. And there's a few other MPs who are interested. And they are speaking, in the way that they can, using every opportunity that they can to get these issues the ears of the British government. So thank you, Charles. Bule is back, so I'm going to ask Bule to speak.
Can I just butt in for literally 1 minute? I have to congratulate Charles for what he said. We've done about 20 different petitions over the last 2 years, and I am sick to death of our own government. They have given up completely. We are neutered by the UK government. They have given in to minerals and money themselves. They don't care about the democracy. They don't care about the dictatorship anymore. So we have to move on. The only move we can make is the United Nations and other countries. I'm more than angry about the UK government and what's just happened. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And to add to that, we found out last week that there is a meeting tomorrow in the House of Lords, but it is private House of Lords meeting. And so when it is a private House of Lords meeting, people like Johnny Oz, who are pro-democracy, are shut out. So he knows there's a meeting happening, but he doesn't know what room it is. He doesn't know who the lords are that are going to be meeting with some people, including Auxillia Mnangagwa. So if she's there, she's going to be in a private meeting at the House of Lords. So to your point, John, about the British government giving up and just going with the flow, it is happening and it's true. So come on, Bule, and then from Bule we'll go to Signor, then Guy Tyrone. Sorry, everyone, but Bule was here for a very long time and then she sort of dropped off. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to add a little bit. I'm sorry about that. In fact, there's a geopolitical shift in the position of the United Kingdom. This is in view of the wars that are taking place and the need to augment. I think there is a mention. This is the post that I'm going to do. Please like it or so. But the British government has now come back to participate on lithium and antimony. Please mention antimony and lithium. These are the reason and the causes that they are behaving as they are doing now. And only America is the one really helping our people. Please mention that if you can. If you inbox me, I'll also give you statistics about our contributions to the GDP and how